Hi there, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today I thought we'd chat a little bit about working and being a full-time stay-at-home mom. Now I want to put a disclaimer in big bold letters. I'm going to put it right here. Disclaimer. Right from the get-go, I want to make it clear that this video is in no way, shape, or form trying to tell you what you should and shouldn't do as a brand new mom. You make your own decisions as to what you think is best for yourself and for your family. If you want to be a stay-at-home mom full-time, I know for a fact that that is enough work as it is, and it is just such an awesome experience. If you want to go through your maternity leave, go back to work full-time and put your kids in daycare, that's great as well. Or if you want to do a little bit of column A and column B, that's cool too. I really wanted to make this video to kind of share a little bit of my thoughts in the first couple of months of me doing a little bit of column A and column B. So I went with the third option. It's the option that is awesome because you get the best of both worlds, but it is the really difficult option because you are the most prone to burnout. Also, if you clicked on this video, that kind of tells me that you're interested in seeing if working and taking care of your little one is right for you. Now, it's no surprise that working moms who are also their full-time caregivers to their young ones are the ones that are most prone to burnout. I also heard from someone that said that those moms in that category are the most prone to toxic shock syndrome, you know, when you leave your tampon in too long. And I guess that really just makes sense because it's so easy to slip into what everyone else's needs and kind of put your needs on the back burner. So forgetting to go to the bathroom, forgetting to have lunch, forgetting to do anything in terms of your basic needs and what you want to do just goes to the wayside because you want to make sure that your kid is at its best and you want to make sure that you're hitting and checking all of your boxes on your to-do list. But I'm here to tell you that it's okay to just stop, slow down, and to really think about how you want to prioritize your day in order to make sure that you are getting the best out of your day and you're getting the best experience out of those first few years with your baby. Now, I have an online business that's been operational since 2020. I have been working as a content creator, I've been making websites, and I've been doing administrative work for small to medium businesses. And most of it has been from home, and last year I decided to take on a contract that allowed me to go into a studio, kind of have that like camaraderie coworker situation. And then I found out that I was pregnant and I had to plan for a maternity leave. When you are working for yourself, you don't have a regular paycheck and you also don't have a maternity leave. Like here in Canada, you can have, a 12 to 18 month maternity leave when you are working for a company and they kind of give you a portion of your paycheck. That is not what was able to happen for me. So I applied to have a maternity leave for self-employed people with the government of Canada. And so that allowed me to start having a little bit of money come in. But only like 3 months into my postpartum journey, 4 months into my postpartum, I decided to add in a little bit of hours and to make sure that number one priority was taking care of my son, but having a little bit of something to think about other than taking care of the baby was actually quite nice. There are some days where I'm just like, why am I doing this? Like, I know for a fact that taking care of a kid is a full-time job, but I think that in the end, I had the opportunity to have a contract that was really flexible in terms of how many hours that I wanted and when I wanted to work and what time I wanted to work. Everything was flexible, and so it was a great opportunity for me to add in a little bit of extra income on top of the little paycheck from the government. Now, when you do make money, the government takes off what they were giving you. So you kind of have to have that balance. So having an already existing online business really helped me in terms of picking back up where I left off and having the flexibility of doing the amount of hours that I wanted and when I wanted to work. Now, if you are postpartum and you're just starting out, you're starting from scratch, I would definitely recommend taking a look at what you want to do in terms of workload. Now, if you want to start doing that online business journey, it does open up a lot of doors and a lot of opportunities to find smaller pieces of work. However, if you're running a business, you also have to factor in all of the tasks of running a business as well. There are some really great contracts out there that can allow you to work from home and have sort of like a part-time, limited amount of hours sort of thing. So it's really up to you to kind of see what is best for you. And if you are interested in taking a look at content for building your business and just building a business in general, you can take a look at my previous videos on this channel as well. We talk about a whole bunch of different things. So that is just another subject in and of itself. But if you have found something that you can do on the side as well as taking care of your kid, this is where we start to talk about planning your day accordingly. Now, this is the most important thing that I have learned now that I am 7 months postpartum about working and being a mom, is that it'll never be the same as before. It's not having the life that you had before and then adding on being a mom and having a kid. It's kind of just like blank slate. Here's a new life into this world, and what do you want to add into this blank slate is basically how I have experienced it. Some people might experience it differently. Every baby is different. Every family is different. Every mom is different. And so I know for a fact that a lot of people feel the pressure to just make sure that they have it all. And if you want something that makes you feel like you have it all, you really have to make sure that you know exactly where your values lies, what you want from your day, what you want from the next couple of years, the next 10 years, the next 20 years. Not to say that you need to have everything figured out right away, but it's really important to know your values in terms of what you want to do for your day. So number one in your game plan to figuring out what your workday is going to look like, you're going to try to look at what your current schedule is and brainstorm in ideas of where you can incorporate some time for yourself. So if you're freshly postpartum, they sleep a lot, but you don't have any predictability. When you're a little bit further along in your child's journey, they tend to have more of a set schedule of naps. Your to-do list for the day is probably cut in half from before you were a parent. You have to pick out the probably 5 most important things that you want to do for the day. I would say 5 is a good number, because then you can just incorporate things if all of your list is done. But giving yourself maximum 5 things, depending on what the task is really important, because you do not want to have that overwhelm. Once you have your 5 things that you want to do for the day, then you'll get to decide which ones are the ones that require my full attention, meaning which ones are the ones that you will not be able to have your baby awake for. So there are some tasks, such as household tasks, that can be done when your baby's awake. And this also depends on your baby's temperament, especially for the first hour of their wake window. That is where you can kind of crank out some house tasks. So maybe doing the dishes, maybe going through and doing the vacuum. My kid loves watching me vacuum. And so I make sure that any sort of like cleaning and like housework that I need to do, I tend to do it during his wake window, because he doesn't really mind. He loves watching me clean, so it passes the time. Anything that requires my full attention, and I tend to want to do any sort of computer work or any sort of research while he's asleep. You got your list here, and you decide which ones are the ones that you do during the nap, and which ones are the ones that you do during a wake window. And then for the rest of the day, you do as you normally would as your stay-at-home mom self. So your to-do list is not just work to do. It is just the most important things that you want to do for the day. And the rest of the day is just relaxing and making sure that your kid is happy. You also want to make sure that you have a support system around you that allows you to take some things off of your to-do list. You're not going to be able to do everything. So having a family member, having a partner, having someone in your circle or multiple people in your circle to take on some things around the house. And last but not least, once you are ready to get out into the world, I think for me it was at my 6-month postpartum mark, was to have something for myself and not something for the baby or for someone that I'm working with. And that for me was having a painting class and going for some workout classes. These are little pockets of time that you are intentional about and that you carve out for yourself to make sure that there is some time for you to really reset, recharge, and do a little bit of me time. So that's my advice so far. That's kind of what I've been doing for the past couple of months. And some of this might change in the next few because as the baby evolves, as your schedules evolve, other things will come up. Take everything that I said with a grain of salt and try to incorporate into your own life in a way that works for you. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.